all aspects, all fields of pharmacy are lucrative. So there's this lecturer who used to tell us that uh, there shouldn't be any pharmacist who is poor. Once you're hardworking, you should consider yourself as a rich pharmacist. If an employer sees that this particular pharmacist is enhancing pharmaceutical care, and through him, we are getting more customers, we are able to improve our image as a pharmacy.
Welcome, Pharm Isaiah Amoo. I'm very happy to have you here. I've always looked forward to a time like this where we have a discourse about pharmacy. And I'm glad that you responded to my invitation to be here. Yeah, once again, welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ehoneah. I'm happy to join you here too.
All right. So, for the purpose of those who do not know you, I would like you to give us a brief introduction of yourself. Please don't leave anything out because I know you say everything about
Everything.
you. Yes.
Don't worry. Okay. So, as you mentioned, my name is Isaiah Amoo, and then I'm a pharmacist. I happen to be part of the last batch of those who read BPharm. And I've been practicing pharmacy for about 4 years now, but I've gotten the opportunity to work in several fields in pharmacy. And also I was able to continue with my master's after school. I was actually a teaching assistant. That's what I did for my national service. Also worked at Pharm for my internship. And then, yes, basically that's it about me when it comes to the educational field. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And as you said, that's just a bit. I know it's a bit. We'll delve more into it. Okay, anyway, so you mentioned that you did your master's, you've done your master's. Could you tell us which aspects of pharmacy that you have your master's in?
4 years of pharmacy after the national service training. I did my master's in pharmaceutical chemistry. That's an MPhil degree. So we have the MSc and the MPhil, but I decided to do the MPhil pharmaceutical chemistry.
Why?
It's a department in chemistry.
What's the difference between the MPhil and the MSc?
Oh, actually, MPhil is more research, more of research, and then yes, the MSc is more of theory.
So you decided to go into the research aspect.
Exactly. Yeah.
But was there a particular reason for that?
Actually, in Ghana, when you have the MPhil degree, because of your research background, it's easier for you to enter into some fields like the industry. If you want to go into industry, like industrial pharmacy, the opportunity will be there for you. However, if you do the MSc, it'll be like more of lecturing and other social fields.
Oh, okay. So the MPhil gives you an upper hand over having the MSc.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But do they have the same?
Depends on the field that you want to be in.
Oh, okay. Do they have the same duration?
Yes, they do. So in pharmaceutical chemistry, actually, both MPhil and MSc will still be 2 years. However, because of the demand for MPhil, right now they've paused with MSc. So when it comes to University and you want to do pharmaceutical chemistry, it's MPhil.
It's straight MPhil. Okay, that's fine. All right, so now let's get into business. You happen to have worked in community practice. You also were a teaching assistant. In fact, you were my teaching assistant. And you have gotten the opportunity to also work in an industry before. Now let's take the community practice. Having an MPhil in pharmaceutical chemistry or a graduate degree in pharmacy, does it in any way impact the pay that you are receiving? Because some of us, after Pharm D, we are looking forward to also upgrading, but we want to know when we come back, is it going to reflect in how much money we make?
Okay, so yeah, money is very necessary, I know. But then when you are done with an MPhil degree or MSc degree, it doesn't really affect your salary in the community field, because community pharmacy is quite different from these research institutions. Yes, so with the community, right after completing your BPharm or PharmD, you can start working as a pharmacist after writing and passing your exams. Yeah, but then if you want to impact the society based on the MPhil or MSc degree you've attained, then it will be better for you to enter into the industrial or the academia field. So when it comes to community, no, unfortunately, no. Your salary is
Sad
not really
story.
going
It's
to
a
be
sad
affected.
story.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Huh. Okay. So if that's the case, then it means for people who are looking forward to just staying in community practice, there will be no need going to do a master's or a postgraduate degree. Or what do you think?
um, there will be the need, for in doing MSc or MPhil in certain fields of pharmacy. For instance, if you do an MSc in clinical pharmacy, you tend to boost your confidence in the
Okay.
clinical aspect of
Okay.
pharmacy,
I
which
agree with you.
will still help you as a pharmacist when handling issues in the community pharmacy. So it's still necessary, just that it depends on the field you are in. If it's pharmaceutical chemistry like I did, it's actually not going to affect anything in the community.
Oh, okay. All right. So I ever met one pharmacist who practices in Canada, and he told me that in Canada the
Yeah,
practice is a bit different. That he can specialize in community practice. So there is further studies for you to become a community specialist. Okay, but I don't think we have anything
yeah,
of that sort here in Ghana. So even
yeah,
though
we don't have that in Ghana.
you want to go and do the MSc clinical pharmacy or any other pharmacy postgraduate degree, it's just for the betterment of yourself, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Then people will start running away to countries where they will be appreciated for the postgraduate degree.
No, not really, because you're still appreciated here in Ghana, but then it depends on the field that you work in, actually. So, for instance, I was talking about pharmaceutical chemistry. Yeah.
Okay.
So, I have my MPhil in pharmaceutical chemistry, but
Mm-hmm.
it depends on the individual. You can actually apply it in the community. When it comes to stability of drugs, you better appreciate it and you'll be able to really explain it to your patients, and they
Okay.
will, yeah, start really, they are going to be amazed. And, if anything, they'll come back to you because you give them better explanation
Oh,
to
okay.
stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I now get it. So in fact, you are going to up your game. Once your game is up, you are going to draw more customers in. You are making lots of money as compared to the ordinary first degree holder, if I should put it.
That's very
Okay.
true. Yeah.
Anyway, so just in that same lane, let's do this small comparison. BPharm, PharmD, community practice. Do you expect any difference in terms of the practice itself? You know, we say the PharmD is more clinically oriented or
Yeah.
patient-centered than the BPharm.
Mhm,
But when it comes to
mhm.
the community practice, do we are we expecting or are we seeing any sort of difference between the practice?
um yes, we should be expecting that. We should be expecting a quite to some extent difference between the practice, the community practice by bee farms and then pharmacy doctors, because that with pharmacy doctors you actually trained more when it comes to the clinical aspect of pharmacy. So you are able to really appreciate what goes on in the community pharmacy. Community pharmacy is kind of a mini clinic now here in Ghana.
Yeah.
So a
Mm.
patient will walk in, tell you all their problems when it comes to clinical stuff, diseases. And as a pharmacist, you should be able to know what they are talking about, be able
That's
to
true.
help them provide the best pharmaceutical care that you can. So because of the training given to these pharmacy doctors, is expected of them to actually up their game when it comes to provision of care in the pharmacy compared to those who completed BPharm. Yeah.
Okay, so I totally agree with you, because when you look at the practice here in Ghana, we always say the community pharmacy is the first point of contact when it comes to healthcare. Because
Yeah.
the ordinary person, when he or she is sick, would rather go to the pharmacy first before going to the hospital. So
The hospital. Yeah.
definitely, I should also believe that once the PharmDs who are clinically oriented are in the community pharmacy, it's also going to help loads more. But the challenge is that,
Yeah.
one, you've been to school for 6 years, you've gone through all this stress, you
Mhm.
come out, you're practicing in the community with someone who did 4 years. Anyway, answer the question before we proceed to that part. Are they paying us differently, the FarmDs and the B farms? Is there any difference in the pay structure in the community?
Okay, to the best of my knowledge, as at now, the salary is not going to be different for pharmacy doctors and those who completed BPharm, because we are all pharmacists, as you know, and we are providing the same kind of care to our patients. So as pharmacists, your salary in the community depends on your employer. Yeah,
Okay.
and but I think that when it comes to pharmacy doctors, there can be something done. If an employer sees that this particular pharmacist is enhancing pharmaceutical care, and through him we are getting more customers, we are able to improve our image as a pharmacy, then I think they are able to work on that as when it comes to the salary. But then if you're also there doing the same thing that um, a Bachelor of Pharmacy graduate will do, then you don't expect any rising pay. So
That's very
basically,
true.
we all do the same thing there, which means we should get the same pay as of now. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So that's like the practice here in Ghana. And one thing I know is that most of the community pharmacies are private owned entities. But even though I haven't been to outside the country before, I've heard of
Yeah.
places where they have chains of pharmacies that are not private, that's more of the government or state agencies. So I don't know if it is same out there where anybody with any sort of degree in pharmacy receives the same pay. But I should believe that some people will be receiving more in these state-owned agencies, unlike the private agencies. And with the private ones, as we have in Ghana, I agree with you when you say that if the employer sees your value or rates your value above that of the ordinary B farm holder, then they will be ready to pay you more.
Mhm.
So then it behoves on us, the PharmD graduates, to bring in more or do more when we go to the field, so that people will appreciate us for the degree that we have, and also in terms of money pay us more than where the others would be receiving. So let me ask this
Yeah.
question too. Having had the experience of traveling outside the country and knowing how the practices out there, first of all, let's talk about the degrees in pharmacy that are used. So for the UK, in the UK, for instance, which degrees are required for you to be registered as a pharmacist?
Okay, so in the UK, we have the MPharm, that basic degree needed to be registered as a pharmacist. But when you look at other countries like the US, Canada, they are more of the doctor of pharmacy. And right now, Ghana too has taken up doctor of pharmacy.
Okay. So Ghana too has taken up doctor of pharmacy, and I read somewhere that in a span of about 10 years or so, everyone is required to have doctor of pharmacy degree as the minimum qualification to be registered here in Ghana as a pharmacist. Does it mean that all of you who have the B farm will also have to upgrade to get farm D, or it wouldn't matter for you?
Okay, so yes, as of now, that's what the Pharmacy Council is saying for all pharmacists to attain a Doctor of Pharmacy degree to be registered. So I think that applies to all incoming pharmacists. As
Okay.
in, so you get to a time, no school in Ghana will be allowed to undertake the Bachelor of Pharmacy program. No, it's going to be the Doctor of Pharmacy. But we are also being encouraged to take up the Doctor of Pharmacy top-up course so that we also be at par with those incoming pharmacists, so that there is not going to be any kind of change in practice. Kind of.
Okay. So with somebody like yourself, with having a master's in pharmaceutical chemistry, you think it would be necessary to do the top up?
It's necessary for all pharmacists to actually do the
Wow.
top up. It's necessary, but it's not compulsory.
Okay.
However, but then when it comes to the Doctor of Pharmacy course, depending on where you want to practice. So as we said, if I'm not going to the clinic, if I'll be staying in the industry, if I'm going to be more of an industry person, why should I do the clinical top-up thing? Yeah,
Yes.
so since it's not compulsory, I think it's going to give room for those who really don't need it to still stay as BPharm degree holders.
Okay, so what you added was actually the reason why I was asking that question. For now, let's say all those who are in the school reading the program, Doctor of Pharmacy, I don't think it's every one
Yeah.
of them who wants to eventually end up in clinical practice. As you said, some would
Yeah.
want to go into industry, some would want to go into academia, and all the other aspects of pharmacy as well. So there's been this sort of argument that maybe we could have maintained the BPharm, then the extra 2 years for the PharmD, so that if somebody completes BPharm and thinks that I want to go into industry, then they will just take that path and proceed to how on that path to get into the industry. Then those who want to get into clinical practice will continue the PharmD. What are your take on that?
Seeing that you made mention of a certain word, ordinary BPharm, you realize that BPharm, although yes, we may qualify it now as ordinary, but then it wasn't ordinary. Yeah,
Yes,
BPharm
I
was
agree.
actually as intensive as the PharmD program, and
I totally
um,
agree.
yeah. So with coming back to the question, I was saying that you realize the Pharmacy Council knows best when it comes to pharmacy education.
Okay.
And I think they thought about it and still realized they have to take away the BPharm degree. The reason being that as a pharmacist, no matter the setting that you will be at or the field of pharmacy you are going to
Okay.
practice, you still need your clinical
Clinical,
experience here.
I
You
agree.
still need certain knowledge in the clinic field. So it's still necessary for all pharmacists, whether in the industry, in academia, whether you're a marketer, any field that you find yourself in, to still get the clinical knowledge, which the family provides. Yeah.
That's very true. It's a very great point. I think that's where some of us, having been in school, we didn't get it from the onset. That that's the reason why I asked the question, but the answer brings it out now. That in fact, any aspect of pharmacy that you are practicing, you actually need your clinical to be on point. So, for instance, even if you want to be lecturing, at the end of the day, what you're going to teach your students should be something that is going to reflect when they go to the field. So if
Yeah.
you are well trained to handle clinical pharmacy practice, then you also be able to teach them what they will need when they go out there. So I agree
That's
with
very
you
true.
totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's move away from community practice. Let's go to
Okay.
industry. Industry. How do you see pharmacy practice as in industry pharmacy practice here in Ghana?
Okay. So with the pharmaceutical industries, you realize that it's not only pharmacists that are there or that can
Ghana.
be employed in the
Yes.
the industry. We have chemists, microbiologists, and a whole lot of the scientists. With pharmaceutical industries in Ghana, um, most of them do not employ pharmacists. Not that they don't have pharmacists there, but then the number of pharmacists in these industries compared to the non-pharmacists, um, you realize is minimal. Yeah, it's low. So if we are a pharmacist and you happen to be in the industry, you tend to impact more because you know more. You get it? So we are
Okay.
trained as pharmacists to actually come up with a whole lot of formulations. So right
Okay.
from first year to your final year, you know how to prepare formulations, you know how to test their stability, you know how to
That's true.
improve upon the formulation if in case there is any kind of setbacks. So pharmacists in the industry, I would say, have a lot of tasks, and whatever product that comes off the market or on the market um, is kind of not the sole responsibility of the pharmacist there, but he has a very high responsibility to play. So yes,
Okay.
um, the industrial pharmacy field is also a very good field to be in. Just that in
Sure.
Ghana, we really need to invest in that. And I think most pharmacists would then prefer to go there. Yeah.
Okay, so I think one reason why, or one reason that I've heard people give for not wanting to choose the industry, which I also share that same reason with them, is that
Okay.
the work in the industry is more of is too routine. Some of us, we want to be doing things like, let's say for clinical practice. I don't know the case to I expect to see on the ward today. Like when I go to the hospital, I am met with several different cases. It helps me to think differently, add up knowledge at any point in time. But if I'm to work in the industry, I'm more or less going to be doing the same thing almost every single day. So for instance, to the best of my knowledge, if we are involved, I mean, an industry that is involved in production of a particular product A, then always I'm going to be working on product A. So even though I'm looking at quality assurance, quality control, all those things, but every single day I'm going to do the same thing. Is it true? Is this perception true? And do you think there is anything that can be done around it so that some of us with this kind of perception will change our mindset and venture the industrial pharmacy practice too?
Okay. So I wouldn't say it's entirely true. Neither is it false. But then you realize it depends on the individual. If you are someone who wants to bring up new things to develop new ideas, you are going to be pushed to do that because you have the motivation. That's what you're interested in. So if you go to the industry and you've been made the quality control officer or the quality analyst. Okay, with that, you have a wide range of things that you can do. So when it comes to the quality of products, what can I do to better them? Although they are good, I'm not saying they are bad, but then what can I do to improve upon the quality of my
Okay,
products? Because
okay,
every product you can't say is perfect. There are definitely going to be some flaws there. So whenever you keep on thinking, keep on adding new things to it, it's going to keep you busy and not dull. When it comes to some fields in the industrial pharmacy, like when you are the manufacturer, kind of, um, let's say, manufacturing pharmacist in the syrup field, with that, you would not have much to do because you have your formulas there, you follow it. But then sometimes you realize that the conditions that time can affect the stability of products. When you
that's
are
true.
not there, those who are preparing the products may not know, and then the products
Okay,
will come out
okay,
very bad, and the whole batch may have to be recalled. So the the industrial pharmacist who is in the manufacturing side can know that, yeah, it's because of the temperature in the room right now. or the humidity right now, and he can do something about it. So I won't say it's a routine. It's a routine in that you have to always be on task, do what you are supposed to do. That's the set down or the lay down procedures you have to follow. But
Okay.
then you can also add whatever you want to add and make your products better. Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's fine. All right, so another thing is that most of our medications here in Ghana are actually imported from other countries. You happen to have the opportunity to travel to India, where most medications in Ghana are actually imported from. So, how does our industrial practice here in Ghana compare against the practice in India?
Okay, when you go to India, one very interesting stuff that I saw in India, I happened to visit Dr. Reddy's, which is a very big pharmaceutical industry in
Okay,
India.
okay,
And one very interesting thing is that they manufacture their own APIs. Okay,
I
so their
see.
active pharmaceutical ingredients, they manufacture it there.
That's
They start
interesting.
from the scratch, yeah. And I happened to ask the director about the number of pharmacists who are working there. And he said that over 70% of his staff are pharmacists.
Wow. Wow.
Wow, yes,
Wow.
you actually enter the QA department, the QC department, and I actually saw about more than 50 individuals who were sitting behind the computer, working pharmacists, bring up and the knowledge we add on when we are preparing medicine. So in India and other countries, more developed countries, they make use of the pharmacists to tap the knowledge that we say about India. Yeah.
That's very, very interesting. I think going forward, Ghana too has to be looking at that aspect to try and incorporate more pharmacists. Because just as you said, we know that most of our pharmaceutical industry speak less of pharmacists. And if we are to get into that point where we manufacture our own APIs, I think it's going to help a lot. Because almost every medication we use in Ghana is actually imported in one way or the other. Because one, the active ingredients we are not manufacturing, even sometimes the excipients that are used to we import them, but starch and coal can be made here in Ghana. So going forward, I think they should look at it so that a number of the pharmacists will also want to venture the industry. Okay, academia.
Okay,
Academia.
but then before
Okay,
we go to academia, I just
yes.
wanted to also say that there are some pharmaceutical industries here in Ghana who are also
Mm-hmm.
doing very well. So I don't want to mention names, but we are all buying
When you say they
products,
are also
okay, on the
doing very
market.
well, when you say
Yeah.
they are also doing very well, what different thing are they doing from what we are perceiving the pharmacy industry, the pharmaceutical industry to be in Ghana?
Companies or industries in Ghana have started producing prescription-only medicines like antihypertensives, anti-asthmatic drugs, anti-diabetics, which I think is a good thing, at least in the
I
right
didn't know that.
direction. So, yes. So with time, I believe that most or other pharmaceutical industries here in Ghana will also pick up that thing. It's a good thing. And there was this industry, Lagray. I don't know if you've heard about it, but I
No.
know they were the only company or pharmaceutical industry in Ghana who made or prepared their own APIs. But
Wow.
now I'm not sure if they are still in existence. Yeah, but they were doing great. So I just wanted
That's
to
okay. Okay. I actually didn't know that. So
know
thanks
that
for clarifying it for me.
for us to know
uh,
that.
we all pray that it gets better,
Mhm.
because now a lot of pharmacy
Yeah, it
schools
will.
are coming up. We are producing lots of pharmacists as compared to the number we were producing way back. So we are expecting that a lot of these opportunities come up to absorb many of the pharmacy graduates that will come up in the future. Okay, so another interesting
Yeah.
field that we want to talk about is academia. You are working towards getting into academia. You worked as a teaching assistant. Now, can you walk us through the path to becoming a lecturer, lecturing in a pharmacy school?
Okay, so thank you. To be a lecturer in pharmacy school or pharmacy, you need to have completed the undergraduate pharmacy degree. But one thing is that it's not only pharmacists who can lecture in the pharmacy school. You can be a
Okay.
chemist or a microbiologist, yeah, because of the departments we have in Faculty of Pharmacy. So
Okay.
once you have that degree, you should also have your master's degree, whether MSc or MPhil preferred though. And then you should also have a doctorate degree. So you should have your PhD to be able to lecture in any of the universities here in Ghana. Yeah. But then when you go into the technical universities, which I happen to lecture as an
Yeah.
assistant lecturer in Kumasi Technical University. Yeah, that one they take up masters, but for
Okay.
assistant lectures.
Assistant
Yeah,
lecturers.
so
Okay.
you can't
Okay.
be a full lecturer with your master's. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay. Is the path any different for the PharmD graduates?
No, because PharmD is also an undergraduate program. One thing we should note, most often people think that the PharmD, once I have it, I'm a doctor, so I have my PhD. No, that's not it. It's also an undergraduate degree.
Degree. Okay.
So after obtaining or attaining that, you need to still go further to get your master's and your PhD to be able to lecture in pharmacy.
Hmm. On the average, if you are doing PharmD, which is 6 years, how long can it take for one to become a lecturer?
So after PharmD, then you have about 6 to 7 years to be a lecturer, a full
Hmm.
lecturer.
That is a long path.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But you can do it a bit faster because for the PhD, it's supposed to be 4 years. However, if you are quick enough to complete your thesis, and he may allow you to complete after 3 years. That's if your work is that good. Yeah. So that means it will cut down to about 5 years, yes,
Okay. Okay.
together with your
But
master's.
is academia lucrative from your point of view? Is it lucrative as compared to the other aspects of pharmacy practice?
Okay, so the first thing I would say is that all aspects, all fields of pharmacy are lucrative. So there's this lecturer who used to tell us that uh, there shouldn't be any pharmacist who is poor. Once you're hardworking, you should consider yourself as a rich
Which
pharmacist.
I
And
see.
yeah, the thing be that with academia, yes, it's lucrative. I will not be able to tell the salaries here, but then
Okay.
we realize that the amount you take, even as a junior lecturer, is a bit higher than the amount we used to take in hospitals. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, comparatively, it's better. However, right now, they are bettering the salary in the hospital pharmacy. So I think right now they are taking a bit higher too. But then once you become a full lecturer, a senior lecturer, go on to get your professorial degree, be a professor, that means, yes, you are taking very high.
Okay.
So academia is lucrative.
Wow. Interesting. The only worry is how long it takes to get there because I'm looking at it from this angle where we all complete school this year. You want to become a lecturer, so you continue your education for like as you said, 5 to 7 years to become a lecturer. And during that period of time, your colleagues who are doing either community practice or hospital practice have themselves fixed somewhere, they are getting paid. So for that period of time that you are not getting paid, that you are spending money to become a lecturer, they are getting paid. So when you come out in 7 years' time and you become a lecturer, the money that you are going to get, if we are to compare it back to what they've made over the 7 years and like doing all those comparisons, is it worth
Yeah, I
it?
get
Is it
you.
worth it?
I get you. But then, yes, it's worth it. So the key word here is your passion. Okay. Um,
Okay.
there are some individuals who have that passion to impart, to
Okay.
always give what they have. So once I have that thing inside me, I want to let others to know what I know. So I'm kind of more motivated to do that. And in the on that path, on to be a lecturer, you realize that you still have time to work as a community pharmacist if you
Oh,
want
okay.
to.
Okay.
So even whilst you are going to school, whilst you are doing your MSc, MPhil, or PhD, you can still be working alongside, and that should give you something to at least support your education. So you'll not lack too much. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you'll be earning money till the time that you become a full lecturer. Then
Mhm.
that stream of money that you are talking about, you are telling us that stream of money will start flowing. Okay, that is fine. Before I let you go, one more thing. We've heard about the graduate exams for those who, after completing, want to get into a postgraduate degree, but not in Ghana, uh, get a scholarship probably to study outside. What
Mhm.
enlighten us on that? If anybody has interest on trying to get a postgraduate degree outside Ghana, what should they do now that they've completed school, or even for those who are still in school and are dreaming of such a thing?
Okay. So yes, I'll say that there are a lot of opportunities there, outside there, for those who want to continue their education. However, these opportunities may not be that available. You may not easily access it, as in get access to it. But then once you have the right source of information, you will get access to it. And you just have to search. That's one thing most students
Mhm.
would not like to do. Yes, they
Google
think
it.
you are just wasting time on the internet, just searching for things. Yes, but if you get that time, if you really know what you want and that's what you want, then I think you can spend the time to get that info. There are schools outside there who need students for their postgraduate programs, and
Okay.
they come with scholarship. Yes,
Okay.
scholarships. Currently, you may not get a lot of schools compared to um, um, that's previously, but then you still get access to some. And you can
Okay.
get close to some of these lecturers who have the connections with schools outside the country, and they can also
Okay.
assist or help you.
Mm.
Yeah. And also,
Mm.
yes, aside the postgraduate courses, I would also want to talk about if you want to practice outside the country. So you may want to relocate to other countries and
Mhm.
practice. Maybe your family is relocating from Ghana and you also
Okay.
want to go with them. Yeah. With that, you still have the opportunity to practice as a
Wow.
pharmacist when
Oh.
you've completed the BPharm degree or the PharmD.
Mm.
Yes, it's possible. Just that you need to, because it's a professional program, professional
Mhm.
course, you
Mhm.
need to take a 1 year course so that you get to know the laws pertaining to
Oh,
pharmacy
okay.
practice in that country, and also
Okay.
how they go about their clinical stuff. Yeah, and after that, you sit for their exam, then
Okay.
yeah,
So,
you are
so for instance, if you want to practice in the UK, it means
mhm,
one, you have to move to the UK, then you
exactly.
take a 1 year course. Afterwards, you write
Good.
their exams and you get the license. That's it.
That's true. Yeah,
Oh,
that's it.
okay. Because someone ever told me that it's difficult for some of these countries to even accept our uh, degrees. For instance, after I've graduated with a PharmD, if I go to the US, they are likely not to recognize me as a pharmacist. I didn't
Mhm.
like that's what someone told me and I actually didn't know until what you just said.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it means that when let's say you go to the US as well, you can just do 1 year and become a pharmacist over there.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's
then
quite
it depends
interesting.
on the country. It
Okay.
it it may
Okay.
differ country by country. Yeah. Some countries you may have to maybe school for 2 years and get
Okay.
acquainted with their system. But one thing we should know is that the fact that you're a pharmacist in Ghana doesn't mean when you go outside there you're a pharmacist. No. Okay, you have to go through their system before you can also practice.
So I get that point, because even in Ghana here, regulations, if you come outside, you're already registered as a pharmacist elsewhere, and you come to Ghana, you still have to do the 1-year internship, and then you sit for the exams to pass before you qualify to practice in Ghana. So that is fine. Oh, okay. I was going to ask one last question. Okay, you want to do masters in Ghana? Do we have scholarships available? Masters in Ghana?
Yes.
Or postgraduate
scholarships.
for those set of people?
Yes, we have scholarships for postgraduate studies here in Ghana for home students. So as a home student, you can apply for any of those scholarships. But then most people do not actually apply for that because most of these scholarships actually support your education, pay a part of your fees and not the full tuition. Okay, so you still have to still pay something towards it. However, there are some there which also will cater for everything from your accommodation to your tuition and everything. But one thing is that we don't search. When you search, when you ask about it, you definitely find it. The application is a little bit tough, but then if you deserve it, they'll give it to you.
All right, that's good information for us all. I like the fact that you have been hitting on the point that we don't like searching. I've actually encountered a lot of people. You tell them to Google it, and it's as if you've told them to do the worst thing ever. Anyway, currently I am planning out an online course on online research mastery, how to master online research. It will come out soon so that at least some of the juniors or people who are even watching this interview would also be well educated. Because I think the reason why most people don't like searching is the fact that when they search, they don't get the information. So if you are not doing it right, then you are definitely not going to get the information. So such a course would be some sort of guidance to help them get the right information at the right point in time. Thank you so
I think it's going to be
much.
very helpful. Yeah, thank you too. Thank you too for what you are doing for everyone. Yeah.
I am very, very glad that you made it here. You know, the first time I met you was in health committee meeting. As the coordinator, I think during that first meeting, the impression I had, I came in and I just sat down throughout the meeting. I didn't open my mouth to talk. But these were seniors who were sharing knowledge, like loads of knowledge. I'm like, wow, these 4th years are really good. Like they are saying things, I can hear them, but I don't know. So at least that
know what they are
inspired
talking
me.
about.
You see that thing, but it inspired me. And from there, I think I called on some of my friends to join the committee, and gradually looking up to all of you, we have also come out as pharmacists. And I think that training that we went through has really helped us a lot. When I remember in first year, you took me to was it a 3rd year or 4th year class to go and do a presentation there during one of the celebrations, and it really, really helped me. And since then, standing before people to talk hasn't been a problem. I've come to appreciate a lot of things. I'm very glad. Along my journey throughout the 6 years, you have really, really helped me. And I want to use this opportunity to say a big thank you. I'm glad I met you, and I believe that this is just the beginning. We would go far together. Thank you for making time. Before you go, if you have any other thing that you want to tell the audience, then I'll let you off.
Yes, so what I'll tell the audience is that just believe in yourself. Know that you are going to make it. So yes, pharmacy is difficult, it's stressful, a whole lot, but know that, believe in yourself and since others have completed, you can also complete. And with that spirit, you definitely make it.
You will definitely make it.
Thank
I like
you.
that part. Since we have been able to go through with all the stress, you will also survive. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Thank you all too
Thank
for
you too.
watching, and look forward to several of these interviews as I bring pharmacists, and I'll look forward to even adding up other professionals so that you'll also share their thoughts about the practice of pharmacy and how they are able to relate with pharmacists here in Ghana and even outside Ghana as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.